So here's a bit of a technique that worked that I've been playing with. So these two pieces here are the top and the bottom of the kingpin for 1951 MGTD. And this is a trunnion sleeve. And you can see there's a bushing in here and a bushing in here. This one's a different color because it's recently been reamed. Unreamed, this trunnion sleeve doesn't fit, and you have to ream it out to the right size. And so when I put it in here, it fits in there quite nicely and leaves just enough room for the grease. So the problem that I ran into was, once I've pressed these new bushings in, how do I ream this out? And here's what I ended up doing. So the first thing you need is the proper size reamer. This is a 3/4 inch chucking reamer, and you can see that I have wrapped masking tape all around that shaft. This needs to be centered in the bushing that you're going to ream out, and I don't have a milling machine or anything that would take something like this or an easy way to center it. So you wrap this tape around the shaft, which is narrower or thinner than the 3/4 inch that you need, and you just basically slide it in there. And you can, and I've wrapped the tape in the direction of the turn, and it's tight, but it fits in there. And what this does is this self-centers the reamer. And then I'm going to use this to put pressure on the end of the reamer to drive it through while I turn it by hand. And I'm going to set up the rest of it from a different angle and show you what happens. Okay, so what you can see now is I've got the reamer sitting in here, and I've attached a set of vice grips to the end. And I've got some 3-in-1 oil, which I'm just going to put in here to give it some lubrication. And then I've got this bar, which is going to give me some pressure, and a ball bearing. Whoops, I dropped it. There's a hole in the end of the reamer, which is just enough to be able to hold that ball bearing in place. There we go. And then I'm just going to put a bit of pressure on it. Doesn't need a lot. I have my angle wrong here. Okay, I've just adjusted my angle a little bit so that I get the right angle of my bar, which is going to put pressure on here. And it's less likely to slide out of place. There we go. So I have to put just enough pressure on it so that the reamer will get pushed through, but not so much that it starts to chatter. So that's it starting. I'll shut it off for a moment and show you at the end. Okay, we're getting close to the end here now. Add a little bit more oil. And there we go. So then we just turn this by hand to finish it off. Then run this through it a little bit just to get out some of the bits and pieces. And there it is. That slides right in. And there's almost no play, just enough for the grease. That's it.